Hello everyone, welcome back. In this video, we are going to learn an important component in our career. When I say career, I can call this component as a stepping stone. For a wonderful career ahead, we need to have a wonderful resume. Yes, you're right. Resume is what we are going to learn in detail. When I say detail, I really mean that I wanted each and every one of you to understand how important is resume for all of us. It can be you, it can be me, or it can be to any of you who are with the corporate world. You can be a student, you can be a working personnel, or you can be in association with the organization at present. That doesn't matter, but we need to have a very clear understanding about this word resume. You can ask me, Karthik, the word is pronounced as resume. So when the spelling is resume, why did you say it as resume? Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, first of all, we should understand from where this word is derived. This word is derived from a French word, resume, which means a short profile about us, about an individual. So that is why it is called as a resume and we don't pronounce as resume. Now let's learn different kinds of definition that we have with respect to the word resume. I already mentioned you that it is a term which is derived from the French word summary. So resume means a summary, a short profile about an individual. In other words, you can call as a statement to prospective employers. Who are these prospective employers? A company which is ready to take you, which is having a vacancy, and you may be the right person or I may be the right person for them to take them inside. A resume is a job creator. Why we call that as a job creator? Because it is a stepping stone. As I mentioned earlier, it is going to talk more value about an individual, more skills about an individual, and all these words are related to career or a job. That is why a resume is called as a job creator. In other words, I can say it is a tool that offers you to display your top skills and qualities. A resume is a tool. Why it is called as a tool? Because it is going to showcase your skills and qualities to the prospective employer or an employer or a corporate or a company or an organization. You have different places where we can get jobs. So it is a tool that is exhibiting or putting your skills and qualities in a display and make sure that your skills and qualities are taken to the employer. Vital information to give an employer. So what is a resume? A resume is a vital information, very important information, skills, qualities, as we discussed earlier. It is the information that is to be given to the employer. Why the employer need to know about your skills? Because they just see whether you have or I have the deserving qualities or deserving skills that matches with the requirement of the industry or the company. Lastly, it is a summary of your personal data. Which is a summary? A resume is a summary of your personal data, which talks about everything about you in a very crisp and very clear way. So boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, hope you have a very clear understanding about what resume is all about. It is a piece of information, very vital information that is to be exhibited in front of an employer. Why resume is considered to be very important when it comes to the process of getting jobs or in the process of getting admission to some institutions of higher education. A resume is an essential part of hiring process. Why we say essential part of higher education or essential part of hiring process? It acts as a bridge. It's connect the individual with the industry or it makes the individual well known to the industry at the primitive stage, because this company never have seen an individual like this, and the resume is going to act as a bridge between this individual and this company, because it is going to carry a lot of information about the particular individual to the company, or particular student to the higher education institutes for higher education or other courses or fundings. It offers employers a quick overview of your relevant skill. Let's say a company needs a software engineer who is very good in Java, and this individual has a lot of experience in Java. So this skill of this individual is known to this employer through his resume. That is why it is called as a connecting bridge. It transfers the knowledge of the individual to the company. So this resume will give an overview of an individual before even they are called for interview. It can be a phone interview, it can be a face-to-face interview, or it can be a video interview. So the employer will have a basic understanding about the individual through a resume before even they are called for the interview. In other words, I can say it's a first step taken by corporate recruiters and hiring managers. Who are these corporate recruiters and hiring managers? These people involved in selecting the right resources for the company. When I say right resources, it's not ordinary people. They are going to fill the gap of the needs from the pool of interviewees who are willing to be a part of this corporate world or the working place. So who takes this responsibility? This responsibility of filling the gap or filling the requirement in human resource is taken care by the hiring manager or the corporate recruiters. So there are different kinds of people who will involve themselves in this recruitment process. So it is a first step. Your resume is a first step. And boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, you must know this phrase, USP, unique selling proposition. Quite often we listen to this word, unique selling proposition. What does it mean? Your resume is called as a unique selling proposition. Who is it going to sell? It's going to sell you. Because if you want to be sold yourself, if you want to sell yourself in the market, so the first criteria is your resume. Your resume will help you to sell yourself with a better company, which matches their requirement with your skills. That is why it is called as a unique selling proposition. So now you know different ideologies or terms related to resume and how important a resume is for you and me, for anybody who seeks a job. And now let's see what are different kinds of resumes we have. If you just log into any search engines and type types of resumes, you may get even 10 types, 15 types, 20 types. So don't get confused. I have chosen some simplified terms for you to understand better. I don't say there are only 3 classifications. You can use any kind of acronyms, adjectives to name a kind of resume. But without any confusion, let's have a basic understanding of different types. For example, the first one, chronological resume. The word itself is very says, which talks about your skills at different levels. In 2020, so what is your qualification? 22, 24, 26. So it goes in an order. So it is called as a chronological resume, where it talks about facts and figures at different ages. So 1995, I got my schoolings. 2020, I did my PhD. I'm giving an example. Everything is in arranged manner, chronological resume. I look into the second kind, functional resume. What is a functional resume? Let's say a company has asked for a sales representative. That is called function. So this company is very particular that they want people with the knowledge about sales or finance. You take any department or procurement or software development. You take anything into example or consideration. When I say functional, it is very clearly related to the functions or the requirement of the company for a particular function. For example, sales is one function of a company. Similarly, when we talk about resume, when a company asks for a sales person, you are not you cannot design a resume putting all skills about you which may not be relevant to the function or the position they need. So a functional resume is structured in such a way that meets a requirement of that particular company at the particular time, which means that your resume is not static. It keeps on changing as per the requirement of the industry as well. So that is why it is called as a functional resume. Look into the third category which I have for you, infographic resume. When I say infographic, you don't have many words there, rather you have a lot of images, pictures, graphs to convey what sort of skills you have. Probably you can ask me, Karthik sir, is it possible to convey using graphs? Yes, definitely. I don't say completely, but most of your resume part, maybe 80 to 90%, can be with a lot of images and graphs. That is also a method in which you can convey your skills and abilities to the employer. So as of me, I have just classified only on 3 different types. But again, you can even further classify based on the needs, requirements. So the types goes on like that. Now, what should be the components of an effective resume? Or in other words, if I'm going to put a skeleton of a resume, so what are the components should take place in a resume? A resume should have a career objective. A career objective is very important because you cannot have a common objective for all the jobs. You should have a specific objective based on the career that you are looking or that you have in your mind. So what is your objective with reference to the career? So every single resume should have a career, because that will tell the employer about your short-term goals as well as your long-term goal. So they can easily judge. Kindly don't copy from online resources when you plan to draft a career objective for yourself. Let it be yours, because it is your career. When it is your career, you have to decide your objective. So make sure that it is your own objective with reference to the career. So how long can be the career objective? Maybe 2 to 3 lines. Keep it very clear, simple, to the core. Oh, I really look for, you can start in that way. Or you decide which will be really meaningful, that conveys you to the employer. So career objective is very important. And what are the other components should be there in the resume? It should have educational qualification. So boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, please make it a point, whenever you put all your qualification, I would suggest you to put from recent to past. So 2022, I did this. 2020, I did this. 2019, I did this. That is called recent to past. So the employer will get what is that you have done recently. So recent to past arrangement, chronological arrangement. So make sure that you arrange everything like that. When I say educational qualification, it includes not only your degrees that you have, it can also be certification that you have obtained, or any qualification that is a part of your education. Okay, so that is what I really mean. And make sure that you specify when you have completed your undergraduate, postgraduate. It starts from your postgraduate, undergraduate, maybe higher secondary. So make sure that it is from recent to past. It goes step by step. Make sure that where you have done it, at which year you have completed, what sort of percentage you have. All these things are very informative. It will give a very clear idea to the employer, who thinks, oh, very good. So he's from this institution, really good institution. There is always a chance he may be from the same institution. There can be some affinity. So make sure that it is very clear. Don't give any false statement. Let's say that you have got some kind of percentage and you say you have got first class. No need to say that. Whatever you have, you do it. If not, you can just leave it without writing it. In case if they happen to ask you, then you can tell, see, I have got only second class in my UG, whereas in my PG I got a distinction, which shows that you have grown. You are growing. That is really very good. So don't give any false information when it comes to filling up the resume. Please focus on your skills. What are the skills you have? You say, I'm very good in designing. I'm very good in drawing. I play guitar. All these are skills, because when a person is with the skills, they can easily be trained. Do you agree with me? Let's say you talk with a boy who is younger than you. He plays guitar very well. He rides bicycle very well. He sings very well, which means that he has a lot of skills. Do you think it is possible for you to mold him in some other areas? Yes, I agree with you. Yes, because when somebody has a skill, it is easy for you to mold them in other skills as well. So one skill will be related to other, because whenever a person has a skill, which means that they are disciplined, they can learn it. They have learned to obtain the maximum level in the skill, which means that they can be tuned with any kind of other works. So company looks for people with skills. So don't underestimate yourself. Whatever skills you have, make sure that you bring it to your resume. More skills, more opportunities. Keep that in mind. And next comes is a professional experience. I'm not putting everything in order. I'm just telling you what are the components which should be there in a resume. Your professional experience. In case after your undergraduate, you must have worked somewhere, then you must have done your postgraduate, again you must have applied for a job. So include all your professional experience in case if you have, or in case if you don't have any such experience, you can always make sure that you add your internships. Internships is really adds more value to your resume, because that is one way you get exposure towards industry. Let's say you are very fresh, but you have 3 or 4 internships during your course, which adds more value to your resume. What it conveys to the employer? It says that this guy has spent almost 6 to 7 months in an industry on an internship, which is really helpful for the employer to give you a preference, because you have a real-time industrial experience as well in the form of internship. So I'll add all your experiences in your resume. Don't forget to add your achievements. When I say achievements, don't say, I got a first prize in lemon and spoon when I was in UKG, or first standard, grade 1. Not that. Any achievements, you can classify achievements in academic, non-academic, curricular, co-curricular, extracurricular. So you classify it, and please put everything from recent to past. So make sure that any achievement is always recognizable. You will be recognized as you have a lot of achievements and skills. Other than that, if you have any trainings as a student, if you undergone any trainings, if any certifications by means of attending conferences, presenting papers with the research and development, that adds more value, because training always give a very positive impact about a student or an employee at present. So trainings and certifications will add more value to your resume as well. Please mention your interest and hobbies, and how that interest and hobbies will help you to enhance your skills or put you in the limelight. So boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, all these are some of the components which should be there in a resume. So by the time you prepare your resume, make it a point that you have all these aspects as a part of your resume. Please note, see, I wantedly gave you this information. This information is really useful for you at any point of time. Update your resume eventually. What does it mean? Let's say that you have prepared your resume in June 2022. That doesn't mean that you should stop updating, which means that you should perform, and at every stage you should add more information to your resume, which means I tell you to keep yourself updated. Do some certifications, add more information which can be added to your resume. So update your resume, which means that I wanted you to grow every day. It's a fast growing world. Unless you are updated, you will be outdated. Please make it a point. So don't say that, sir, I'm very good in C++. C++ is slowly replaced by Python in many of the industries. So what we need to update from C, C++ to Python. Probably after 5 years, it can be some other programming skills. I'm giving an example. The marketing strategy that we have used before 10 years, we are not doing it right now. We are more into social marketing, social media marketing. So unless we update on all these skills, it's very difficult for us to stay alive in the job that we have. Know your credentials. Know what are the best qualities you have. What are the skills you have. Try to put that as a limelight in your resume. Focus on those things in your resume. Your credential adds more values. Your skills, showcase all your skills. So this skill I have this skill, I have this skill. When you put skills, it will directly or indirectly help for the existing employer who is planning to take you. Probably they may be looking for somebody who is very good in organizing event. So you may be an organizer of different events at your institution or university. So your skill in organizing that event is going to add more value to the potential employer. So they will definitely look and take you up because they need somebody who to organize events, and you have that skill, you are in. Showcase your skills, that's very important, and make sure that you highlight all your achievements. Whatever achievements you have, please highlight it. And very important, make sure it is error free. Your resume should not have any kind of error. Don't say it is typo error, or any grammatical errors. Make sure that it is proofread very well before it is sent to a potential office. So boys and girls, so keep this in mind before you send a resume to the potential employer as well. Now, what is the layout of a resume? A resume can be for one page. I really mean it. If your resume is one page with all inputs I told you earlier, it is the perfect way to communicate to the employer. Very precise, but very effective means of communication. One page resume. Please make sure that you have sufficient gaps, which means that you should be very careful in choosing the font, using the font size, so that it don't look clumsy. So don't try to tell stories in one page. Try to be very precise, focus on your skills, achievements, potentials, qualification, everything in one page. Draft it in such a way that it looks so pleasant. When somebody happen to see it, wow, see how it looks. It looks so good, legible, clear. Don't go for any fancy fonts, curvy fonts. That will take some space. So make sure that your resume is one page with appropriate font size and good spacing. Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, a resume talks more about you to a potential employer, because before they see you, they look into your resume. So make sure that it is going to give a very big impact for them before you meet them. This impact will really fetch you a fantastic career, and your future will be very successful. All the best. Do well. Take care. We'll meet you back. Thank you.